It is really hard to make a commitment to yourself, to change your life, to show up for yourself every day, to commit to the things that you really, really want. Like when I say really want it, I'm not talking about your New Year's resolution where you're gonna quit in 90 days, right? And I think that this video, I'm just gonna talk about how hard it is because I feel like a lot of people can resonate with I wanna make a change. I wanna do certain things, but it's like I find myself in these same loops. I promised myself I'd be. I promised myself. Promises. What's up, guys? Like, we are back finally on YouTube. So I know like maybe 3-4 months ago I came on and I was just like, just checking in. I'm gonna build myself back up to come on YouTube. So I finally feel confident. I finally feel comfortable enough to come back to YouTube. And it wasn't that I was like, oh, I'm not confident to be on here or this or that, but I just took the year last year, guys, to really focus on leveling up. And I think a lot of times that when we think about leveling up, we're always thinking about it from the perspective of like, I gotta get more money, I gotta get in shape. But I think for me personally, I really leveled up spiritually. I leveled up in my understanding of what really matters in life, how I want to go about this life. There was just so much transformation that took place that I just didn't want to be on YouTube. I didn't want to be in the public. And as you guys know, like I told you, my business did 6 figures last year, which was amazing. But the shift between trying to keep up with all of that, and it wasn't that I was like drowning and overwhelmed or any of those things, but my responsibility shifted a bit. And I didn't just go to work every day and then have content. Like I literally had a business and still do have a business called the Tech Level. Tap in. Where I'm coaching people. I have to pour into people. I have to do interview preps with them. I'm constantly on the ground helping people to break in and find jobs and change their lives and their finances. So the aspect of that truly grew me in just so many ways that were unimaginable because I became a responsible steward for something that I created and then other people and their trajectory and them coming to me like, here's a dream of mine, like I need your help, and what are tangible ways to put that into fruition. So yeah, I just feel like we're gonna kick this off and I'm just gonna turn my channel and just everything that I'm doing moving forward into a faith and works movement. So we are gonna talk about faith and how we keep the faith. And I feel like I've already motivated people. Every time I come on YouTube, y'all know I'm like, we gotta get to it. What we doing? How we gonna get to it? But the works, right? So it's cool for me to come on here and show you guys I'm working all the time. But this year, I really want to give you guys practical tools, practical tips on how to navigate, right? Like, how do you use AI? How do you use certain things and tools? And what are the tools that I'm using? Like, so many people, I was reading the comments for the past few months and really thinking about, okay, what is my audience actually asking me for? And I feel like you guys have been asking me for motivation. You guys have been asking me to show you about finances, show you how I budget, show you how I put things into play. How did I start a business? How did I do all these things? So I finally feel like I have tangible insight to give you guys because I went through the processes, I built out the systems, the operation, and now I can show you. But what I will say is that I do not feel like, and I really just owe this all to God because, like, I'm telling you guys, none of the things that I have would be possible without supernatural grace. Like the doors that have opened for me, the exposure I had, the opportunities that are coming my way. Like once I literally tapped in with God, it tenfolded. And I think there's multiple reasons for that, but we'll get into that over the course of just all the videos. Like I'm gonna be honest, it's so much to dissect on why things happen the way they do, but this is where we at. And I just want to start off by saying it is really hard to make a commitment to yourself, to change your life, to show up for yourself every day, to commit to the things that you really, really want. Like when I say really want it, I'm not talking about your New Year's resolution where you're gonna quit in 90 days, right? And I think that this video, I'm just gonna talk about how hard it is because I feel like a lot of people can resonate with I want to make a change. I want to do certain things, but it's like I find myself in these same loops. And I think for me, for so long, guys. Like, I found myself in circular loops, right? And when I say that, I mean, like, it would feel like a simulation. Like, I'm not even playing with y'all. It would feel like, damn, like, I knew I shouldn't have done that. I did that, and I'm back at the same result over and over and over again. And I know so many of us go to toxic relationships, toxic friendships, jobs that don't serve us over and over and over again. And we show up every day expecting a different result. And I had to sit back with myself at one point and be like, what do you really want? What do you want out of your life? How do you plan on showing up to get it, right? And I think that I'm at a point where I deal with people every day who want to change their lives. I have hundreds of people message me every day. Everybody's like, I want to do this, I want to do this. Well, what are you going to do to get it, right? Nothing that I have, the home that I live in, the car that I drive, none of these things came overnight, right? Like, I really put in blood, sweat, and tears for a lot of things that I have. And I know I come on here and I'm like, y'all, this worked out or that worked out. And I motivate people, but it's like, we got to really get to the ground root and the foundation of how all of this works. So the first thing I'm going to say is that I feel like I had to curate balance. So balance was something that I was seeking. I feel like a lot of us don't have a work-life balance. We don't have a balance around, maybe I don't have kids, but for example, like, I have a lot of cousins and people that I know, or, you know, family members, and I see like how they extort themselves at work, show up for their kids, like they don't leave no room for themselves, right? Like, so the first thing that I would say that I really, really had to sit back and address was like, what is important to me? How do I prioritize and balance what matters in my life, right? And I would say the three categories for me that really matter and that I think everybody needs to have under control and have some type of self-discipline over to advance and see yourself move forward in life is going to be physical, spiritual, and mental, right? If you don't have control over your thoughts and your mind, you're not going to be able to show up in the right way. If you don't have a great spiritual foundation, if you don't have a good relationship with God, if you can't consistently commit to the creator who created you, you probably are not going to show up and commit to yourself. And what I noticed was that once I got my mental and my spiritual together, the physical started to 10x, right? I was able to commit to going to the gym more. I was able to commit to eating better because I felt better and I thought better of myself. I went and got different types of ingredients to put in my body, right? So it's just like, when I think about the foundation, I would say my tree starts with, once I tapped in spiritually and really understood God and his purpose for me and his alignment over my life, boom. Then I was able to deal with the mental traumas, the depression, the anxiety, the fears, anything that was a subsidiary cause of me not knowing who I was and how God viewed me. And that's the number one thing that I'm going to touch on today. So, you know, this is coming at the beginning of the year, but if I'm being honest, this is a lifelong process. This is not a, oh, it's 2025, oh, I'm turning 30, oh, this, and this, whatever you want to call it. This is not that. This is, what do we need as a collective to truly transform ourselves, to have the things that we desire and show up in the ways that we want to and get the opportunities and the blessings that are for us, right? So I think that the first thing that I would say is that the biggest transition that I had to make was how I view myself. And I would question everybody to ask themselves, how do you view yourself? Because the decisions that you make, the friends that you have, the things that you do, the places that you frequent are all a reflection of how you view yourself, right? So, perfect example. If I am the Queen of England, right? I can't go certain places. I can't do certain things. I cannot put myself in certain situations. Why? Because there's a greater risk. And I understand who I am and that identity, right? So the first thing I would challenge anybody to do who's on a journey to level up this year, figure out what's the best thing for you to do to elevate your space, elevate your life, and go after the things that you truly want, is identify yourself. Because a lot of times we are lost in our identity. You know what I mean? So the first thing is, how do you view yourself, right? How do I want to show up for myself? Have you ever just taken a journal? I will tell you this, one of the biggest secrets that I will tell y'all, I got a journal right here. I got journals. I am a journaler, right? Like, I literally challenge myself, challenge my mind, really tap into thought-provoking books, self-awareness, just emotional intelligence. Like, I am really, really interested in human growth and development as a person, and I've always been that type of individual, but I think that for me, journaling really helps me cohesively see my thoughts and the progress of them, right? Like, I don't journal the same way that I journaled 2 years ago because I've grown as a person. So my language has changed. The way I view things has changed. What I'm praying for and asking for in journaling has changed, right? But it gives me a place to be introspective. It gives me a place to really look within, and also a safe space to express whatever it is that I need to do in that moment or speak on, right? So I think the first thing that I would challenge everybody to do is figure out, how do you view yourself? Like, straight up. Like, sometimes we don't view ourselves in the best way. I've been in seasons of my life where I didn't view myself in the best way, and in that moment I didn't resonate and I didn't identify and I didn't think, oh, I don't view myself in the best way. But when I thought about the girl I wanted to be, how I wanted to impact people, how I wanted to show up in rooms, how I wanted to dress, what I wanted to just do every day, right? It didn't really match what I was doing. I was going outside in Atlanta 3 to 4 days a week, partying. What result does that yield? Like, let's just be honest. What result does that yield? So you may be in a season of a shifting time in your life, a transitionary time where you're like, hey, I'm growing into a new person. What does that look like? Who do I want to be? And what do I need to do to show up every day to cultivate the reality around that? Because that's a real thing, you know what I mean? So I would say that's the first thing that I would say. 2025, let's figure out what we want to do. Who do we want to become? Who are we at a core? What makes us unique? What makes the things that are super, super cool about Kayla, and what makes all the things that are cool about you, you know what I mean? But I think that's the first pillar of just, before I can get my mental together, before I can have a relationship with God, before I can do this, and that, what does that look like for me? And what am I striving for? Do I have a vision and a mindset around how I want to show up in this world, who I want to impact, the things and communities I want to be connected to, and what does that look like for me? You know what I mean? The second is, how committed are you to the process over your life? So something I've noticed is that for me, I am somebody who deeply commits to things. So, for example, when I went on my journey and I feel like I started to lock in with God on a deeper level, it was no surprise that I took that serious and I went into it and studied for hours and hours and hours, because I realized that's a personality trait of me, whether I'm starting a new business, a new idea, a new venture, whether I'm showing up to work. I am somebody who wants to show up in my highest and best self, period. Right? So when I went on this journey and I started to cultivate a relationship with God, I treated it like cultivating a relationship that I would cultivate with anybody, right? I show up for people. I'm extremely thoughtful. I think about people. I try to provide things for them. So now I'm like, okay, how do I want to cultivate this relationship? Well, I want to spend time there every day. I want to get to know who God is. I want to know his character. I want to, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I had a high level of commitment. But what I realized was, once I committed to God, I was able to commit to so many different areas that I was not fully committed to myself in, right? So I could have a great work ethic and I could show up a certain way, but I think that's very different than my level of commitment. And I think once you can commit to yourself, and I truly believe that self-love is a form of discipline, because if you truly love yourself, you are willing to walk away from things that no longer serve you. You are willing to put yourself out there. You are willing not to have fears and not to have insecurities over the things that feel innate to you, that seem like they are destined for you. You are going to show up differently because you're committed to the result and you're not going to let anything get in your way. So I think the second thing is, really, we have to question how committed to ourselves, how committed we are to ourselves. And I am not going to sit here and say these things are easy. Like, I can say that, yes, I am somebody who wakes up every day and it's very easy to commit to things, but it's not. I'm telling you, I have the capability to commit to things, but I have to wake up every day and choose to do that every single time my alarm goes off in the morning. Every single time that I wake up and I'm like, hey, this is what I want, I am registering in my brain, what is the cost that it comes at? What is the sacrifice that it comes at? If I do not execute on this today, where will I be? And we have to get to that place in our lives if we want to make changes, because it's going to get to a point where you will have to sacrifice, right? I had to walk away from a toxic relationship to receive a positive relationship. I have to walk away from a low paying job to receive a high paying job. I have to walk away from toxic behaviors and addictions to be set free of them. Everything is going to come at some type of cost. So when you wake up every day, when your alarm goes off, when you have responsibilities and you decide not to commit to them, you are not choosing yourself. And we got to get real. What is the root of that? What is causing us not to show up and choose ourselves? Because there's no bigger commitment than choosing yourself. There's no bigger act of love than choosing yourself. And I got to a point in a season, especially last year, where I said no. That's a major thing. We have to get to a place in our lives, guys, where you are able to tell people no. No, I didn't feel bad for not going out. No, I don't feel bad because I don't want to hang out tonight and I have priorities and I'm trying to build a business. No, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. I feel great about choosing me. And the results, guys, 10x. 10x. Like, I won't tell y'all no lies. Like, choosing you is the best thing. If there's one thing that I could just wish everybody get from this video today is to choose you. Please choose you. Choose a relationship with God and understanding that He can strengthen you. You can do all things through Him. You can break addictions. You can overcome depression, anxiety, like whatever it is that you're going through. Choose God and choose you. Choose showing up for you every day. Choose not feeling bad. Choose that if you want to grow into a different person and people will walk away from you, choose all of those things, because at the end of the day, literally the results are chef's kiss. That is what I will say, right? And that kind of funnels into something else I want to talk about. Is just, we think that a lot of times we can change a lot of our circumstances with human strength, and I am literally here to tell you, like, addictions, depression, anxiety, there are certain levels of things that operate in the spirit, guys, that I'm telling you, you cannot just do with your own strength. So really rely on God to help you, to give you the insight, to give you the wisdom into how you need to navigate certain situations in your life. You know, when they be like, let go and let God, like, baby, please let go and let God sometimes. Sometimes you will F it up. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you're doing it wrong. You just putting yourself digging deeper holes. So sometimes you need some insight, you need some wisdom, you need some divine wisdom to help you position yourself for the best, right? And I think that this year, if there's anything that I could teach you guys, show you guys, like, seriously, please trust me when I say tap in. Like, tap in. That's going to be my phrase for the year. Tap in. Baby, tap in with God, and He'll get you right, okay? But, yeah. So, you know, I just think that that's how we're going to kick the year off. I'm going to just keep giving y'all the motivation y'all need to tap into your higher self, to tap into the opportunities that are available to you. Everything that you want, guys, is so available. Like, and I've always been, Chloe, you know I'm recording, girl? Like, girl, thanks. So anyway, I've always been the type of person that's always like, guys, we can do it. You can set this up, you can do this. Like, I literally tell everybody, like, you can become a millionaire. Like, girl, you can just do this, you can do that. Like, I am so, like, it's so possible, like, the art of the possible. And a lot of times I feel like people will be like, yeah, she tripping, she crazy, like, she just thinks so outside the box, da-da-da. But really, that's the essence of who I am, and that's literally made me so successful. It's the root of faith. The root of me being like, this is possible, I'm gonna go after it, and I can do it. You know what I mean? And not being scared or not letting my insecurities and fears get in the way, because I have fears. I get nervous sometimes when I'm about to execute on things. Like, I'm no one perfect. I'm literally a human being just like everybody who watches my channel. And I get nervous at times, but I don't let it stop me. Like, I have to build myself up sometimes, but once I build myself up, I'm like, cool, bet, like, let's do it. Even this, like, I'm like, I honestly want to just do videos like this that are motivational, help people. Everybody always comes to me for help. Like, I just want to change my vibe on my channel, and I want to do my podcast on YouTube now. Like, that's it. And I've been like, dang, like, I wonder how everyone's gonna receive it. And then eventually I was like, I really don't care how anyone's gonna receive it because this is my channel and this is what I wanna do. So it's go time. Like, I wanna help people with their faith and I wanna help people build out strategies to help them work more effectively, go after the goals that they have. And that's what we're doing, period. So that's what we on for 2025. And as a bonus surprise, if you stay to the end of the video, cha cha cha. I actually just wanted to start a community, and I'm gonna have the link below. But basically, it's just a community where we can get together and we can put positive affirmations. We could put prayers in there. We can talk about the challenges that we're facing as we build our businesses this year, as we do everything. And I want to just cultivate a community called Faith and Works, where we can come together as a community all the time, chat. I'm gonna do like live videos with you guys and stuff, like maybe like twice a month. But yeah, just a free community where we can all get together and literally encourage each other to become our best selves this year, encourage each other, motivate one another, share wins and successes. And the reason I'll say this is because so many people lack the practical skills to change their lives. And I feel like one of the best encouragers is seeing other people attain things and seeing the testimonies of other people. Like having the tech level this year and seeing people get job after job and changing their life, it motivated so many other people every time somebody else got a job. So when it comes to this, it's like I will only be able to give people like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of videos. But I think on a day-to-day, I want to just have positive affirmations, positive energy, and a community where we can like all come together and help each other elevate over this year and have somewhere in a space where we document our wins and look back. And yeah, so I'll do like free webinars on just like strategies for your business, AI, you know what I mean, how to build different funnels, all the things and tools you need to like build your business, as well as career advice. I can definitely give that as well in the community. But I think the coolest part will be we can pray together. We can come together and wish positivity and affirmations over everybody's journey as we go through it and share. So that's what I want to do in 2025. I hope you guys will join me on the journey. There's so many cool things to come. I've been chilling, but baby, we back in action, period, for 2025. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next week. We'll do these weekly. And this will just be your daily or your weekly source of motivation for me, like your big sister or your friend or whatever you want to call me. And yeah, I'll just share my life experiences and just everything that I've been through with you guys and help to motivate you guys as we navigate this space. But it's not easy. It's a journey. Keep your head up and know that there's love, there's light, and you can do whatever you put your mind to. Just commit to yourself. Self-love is a form of discipline. Showing up and saying yes to you is the biggest choice that you can make this year. See you next week.